Hello family and friends. Welcome to my adventure in making 20 sunglass cases with a snap closure. My adventure includes mistakes and a duh moment at the end. Adventures with Cindy begins now. This adventure begins with Melly So's video named Sew DIY Glasses Case with a Snapshot Measuring Tape Closure. There's a link in the description box. I've modified the size and I did not include the side hook. I also added joy on my embroidery machine to the front fabric. I used Pelon Stick and Tear for stabilizer. I did more than one joy by moving my fabric to a different place each time. I can be thrifty at times. I ran out of big pieces of batting, so I zigzagged smaller pieces together. It worked! Yep, I made a mistake. I didn't do right sides together. So now I have to take it apart and redo it. It's a good thing it's not a big project. The painter's tape on the measuring tape stops tears in fabric and fingers.
Ow, ow, ow!
Now comes the fun part. I have to fold this over, trying to match up the seam here. And then I'll just do the one on the bottom too. I take these measuring tapes that I have put just painter's tape on the end of it so that it won't be sharp, and then I have to stick it in the seam that I made. And the goal is to be able to get it in the right way. And I have to get it in far enough so that when I do my top seam, my machine needle does not hit the tape. Not good for a needle. Metal on metal. So I'm trying to get it in as far as I can. Sometimes it helps to wiggle it back and forth. Okay. So now the other goal is to be able to squeeze this, whoop, and not have that happen. Squeeze it and it comes apart. That's how you put the sunglasses in. Like this. Wrong colors, but when you do that, it'll do that. But when you turn it the other way, no matter how hard I squeeze, I cannot make those bend. So it has to be... Ah! Anyways, you got the idea. Here comes the fun. Mistake number 1 of 8. What I'm trying to do now is the top stitching, but as you can see, the foot is up and I can't, it's not catching on the feed dogs over here. So I came up with the idea of putting another one on the other side of it just to help the feed dogs to catch. Let's see how it goes. Let's try something thicker. It's thicker this way. See if that works. It didn't work, so now I'm trying putting my needle in the center, moving the one that I want to stitch over so that I can top stitch it, and putting this one next to it and see if that'll work. The only way I can get this to work is if I use this seam ripper, the back of it, and get it behind the needle and very carefully pull it back, and then it will move. Frustrating. So I'm taking it out because there was a big glob of thread here where I started it, and the next option is to hand sew it. Tried using the zipper foot, see if that would work. It didn't. I still end up with a big bunch of thread. I think I may have found my answer. Starting at this end where the tape measure is, there's about 1/4 of an inch that I can sew on close to the, close to the edge. So I'm making sure that my needle is over all the way to the right and that I have my fabric pushed in. Get rid of that. And I'm just going to make sure that I am not going to hit that metal. And I'm not. Okay. Now I'm going to reverse a couple and then go forward. And I'm pushing against the tape here to help push it through. I shouldn't have to do that anymore now. And it's sewing just fine close to the edge. I have my machine once again still set at a slow speed because I don't want to go off the edge. Get down here to the corner. Like that. I'm going to have to turn, which is another issue. Nice and slow, right to the edge, pivot, And then I still have to use my seam ripper to help me get it through. I'm making sure my seam ripper is not close to my needle. Oh my, it took to my very last sunglass case before I finally figured out what to do. This second one that I have here, I'm sticking in the back to keep up the back of my presser foot. And when I do that, it sews beautifully. Not a problem. Oh, I wish I had known this 20 sunglass cases ago. Yep. It even works on the corner. Look at that. Well, I learned. If I ever do this again, I'll know to keep it up. My machine does not have a leveling foot that I know of. I'll have to check next time I go to my baby lock dealer and see. But I don't think it does. I'm using a self-leveling foot and don't even know it. Last one. Done. Thanks for watching Cindy's Adventure in Duh. See you next time.